Most people would agree that there is a link between criminal activity and the number of officers in a department. Please tell us your view on the link and how crime and staffing intersect.
There's definitely a link right now in Anchorage. We have one of the highest crime rates in America for a city our size. So with 60 officers down right now, we're having trouble policing Anchorage. We can only react to crimes. And I hope in the future we can begin to do community policing and proactive policing. And begin to, first we have to get staff up high enough and continue on a reactive path and react to those 911 calls. But in the future we need to engage the community. We also need to increase minority staffing. We're a city of over 100 cultures and languages, and we need to have that reflected in our force. So that when policemen go out and stabilize these scenes, they'll be able to get witnesses to talk to them. One of the big problems now is we're having trouble getting witnesses to even tell us about murders.
Domestic and sexual violence disproportionately impacts the Alaska Native community in Anchorage. First, please describe your understanding of why rates of violence are higher in this community, then describe how, as mayor, you would partner with Alaska Native leaders to identify solutions to this issue.
This is a long-term problem. It's a generational loss of the family network, religious and boarding school abuse, generational alcohol and drug abuse, disease epidemics. There's many causes that have happened over time to bring it to the point that it is now. I would like to see that we work with the Native leaders, try to bring some pride to the Native culture by including them in the mainstream culture. I believe the recognition of the 20 Native languages is a good start. But I would work with the Native leaders to work on some cultural identity work. We know through the Justice Center and anthropology that when we teach people about their culture, it really doesn't matter whether you're Native or who you are. When you know who you are and where you come from, it builds pride.
You need only turn on the news in recent weeks to become concerned about gun violence in Anchorage. What is your plan for reducing gun violence in Anchorage?
That's the priority of my campaign, is to bring a public safety initiative to Anchorage that focus on community policing and proactive policing. Right now, Mark Mew is working a Safe Streets initiative from the past where you focus hotspot areas in town where gun activity is already going on and pull over people and if they're a felon or wanted, arrest them and look for guns in their cars. Also ask for voluntary cooperation to search cars. So we need to use technology and policing strategies where we can identify the hotspots like downtown and begin to patrol those areas. I would like to see beat cops in that area to stop the bar break violence with guns. We know the guns are out in the cars, really. The bar managers tell us that the guns aren't getting inside the bars. So they go outside, get their gun, and shoot them. But we need to have police downtown to stop this and identify those areas. We've did it before with you. Thank you.
Do you think the APD personnel reflects the community of Anchorage?
I think they've been doing a good job on that. We have more minorities in the police department, but as we know with like Ferguson and other areas, if we don't start to begin to address that problem a little bit more in depth and start to really recruit hard from local people in our community, from different cultural groups, we're going to continue to have problems. So no, I don't believe it's fully staffed with the minority people we need. I also believe the coming academies need to focus on community and proactive policing within the academy. I don't really know what they're focusing on. And so we need to bring more minorities on board so that we can have a better community and have an understanding in the community between the police and community. If we don't do this, we're going to continue to see problems. We don't really know if that's a variable in the crime that we're having, the diversity, without having it in the police department. So we will have to see, but I believe we should continue to do that.
Thank you. What would you do to encourage redevelopment downtown? as a livable area for various income levels and shops such as for groceries?
Well, that's a good question. We need to try to focus on some higher density apartments, and we don't have any groceries downtown, just over on Gamble. So we need to work together as a community and the Chamber of Commerce and business people to make the downtown a little bit more desirable. A big problem with high density stuff downtown is earthquake issues too, and the cost of building in that area. So I don't really have a plan for it, I'll admit, but I think something needs to be done. When the tourists come to town, they need to see an advancing, modern downtown city. I think Ethan was right about the 4th Avenue Theater. Really can't believe that's just sitting there. It's a jewel in our city, and we should make that a priority to remodel that.